everyone seems to have this fake it till you make it mentality, not realizing that once you sell your soul and decide that you're going to be fake, it never ends.
Nobody can help what you faking.
Yep. And that's the majority. My business is my business, but it's really not my business because I don't own the building.
Right.
I will tell anybody this. Childcare is 20% skill, 80% hustle.
Yeah.
A number of daycare centers struggling to find workers.
COVID is having lingering effects when it comes to staffing.
I cannot open this location right now, and not because the kids aren't here and not because parents aren't ready. It's because I don't have the staff. The day is finally here. The day of the 2023 Galentine's Day Gala Award Show.
Jerisha White,
the creator and founder of the Galentine's Day Gala, which is the premier award show for women in business across the United States. So we highlight and award all of the amazing women doing boss things in their industry, like the Grammys for women in business. So many women who are really making strides in their industry fly under the radar. If you're not associated with somebody that has celebrity or somebody that has millions of followers, people may not even patronize your business, or they'll look over you like you don't even exist because you don't have a name.
Deal, now we buying merch.
That's ghetto.
Payment miss.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Say she quit.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Late on your rent.
Rent is ghetto.
New event.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Invoice in.
That ain't ghetto.
Money spin.
Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on, it's kind of ghetto being a CEO. Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto CEO Podcast, where we keep it raw and unfiltered behind being a CEO, y'all, because I'm sick of them telling y'all about the G-Wagons and the $100,000 lines of credit, but not telling y'all about the tears that we be crying at night, okay? And so this podcast is to give you a glimpse in some CEOs that's really making waves, but they're also being transparent about what's happening behind the scenes. Like, we are grateful for the businesses that we've built, but I want you to know the tears we've cried to get here, right? And so I want you, if you're loving this podcast, if you're loving it, I need you to go over to Apple Podcasts. Listen, even if you watch it on YouTube, go over there to Apple Podcasts, make sure you download it, make sure you leave a review, because that is how we know that we're doing a good job, but we also let the streets know that we're doing a good job. Now, listen, my guest today is going to be so amazing, and we've been like Instagram DM friends for so long. You've probably seen her all over Instagram with the Galentine's Day ball and all the things, but she is also a boss behind the scenes taking care of your kids, okay? Miss Sherri J, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Listen, I'm excited for this interview.
I'm excited too. This is gonna be fun.
Now listen, I don't even know if they know that you really like that girl in childcare, but
No,
I got a question to ask. How many kids you done had to beat up?
Well, you did say we were keeping it raw and real right now. I haven't had to beat up any kids just yet, but I can't forecast the future.
Yes, no, I love it. Tell them who you are and your business.
All right, so I'm Sherri J. I am a childcare guru, is like what I like to call myself. I've been in business going on 16 years. I own a plethora of childcare centers throughout the metro Atlanta area and one in South Florida that I do silent partnership in. I'm also the creator and founder of the Galentine's Day Gala, which is the premier award show for women in business across the United States. So we highlight and award all of the amazing women doing boss things in their industry. We like the Grammys for women in business. So,
period.
yeah.
It's definitely giving Grammys,
It
okay?
is.
Because listen, Sherri J, y'all be flying in on helicopters, coming in like Beyonce, coming popping in from the ground with the red everywhere.
We do.
Listen, how did you think about the Galentine's Day Gala?
Well, you know, honestly, so many women who are really making strides in their industry fly under the radar. So it's one of those situations where it's like, if you're not associated with somebody that has celebrity or somebody that has millions of followers, people may not even patronize your business, or they'll look over you like you don't even exist because you don't have a name. And so many women who come through my mentorship programs, or who were doing daycares or just general business, you know, people, they were like, well, I have this bomb idea. I have a great thing that I'm offering, but nobody knows who I am. And so I said, well, damn. That's true, because, you know, even I've struggled with that, coming up, trying to get my name out there, trying to get my brand out there, because I don't have any affiliations, for lack of better words. It's like people don't trust you unless somebody that is somebody trusts you. So I said, okay, well, guess what? They ain't got to trust us. We'll trust each other. And so I want to build a coalition of women that can come together and we'll network with each other.
You know, one thing I love about the concept is it really shows your heart, because people don't just put together stuff for other people. You know what I'm saying? Stuff ain't free. All right. So I know that you are paying for women to get connected to each other. And so, first of all, round of applause to Miss Sherri J, because that is not something that people do all the time. You know, a lot of times you're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about how you can get in a room with the people you want to get in a room with. Not, let me let my sisters connect.
Correct.
Because I see that they need those connections.
Absolutely.
I love that you're doing that.
Thank you.
I love that you're doing it.
It's important because nobody's doing it. And that's a part of the problem, that nobody's doing it. Like, very rarely do we want to reach back to those who might be, just say, trying to climb the ladder in a position that we were once in. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of times people don't even want to reach sideways to people who are on the like level. It's almost like they're always looking up. Who can help me come up? And not realizing that if the person that's beneath you or even next to you, they might have just one piece of vital information that you could benefit from that could be all. You don't even need anybody to help you up. You just need the knowledge. So it's important. And if we did that more, honestly, we would be a lot bigger than we are.
A lot further. We will be a lot further, because a lot of times the missing strategy, the missing piece that we're looking for is probably in our sister next to us. But we won't talk to them. Or the other thing that I've seen is that we won't be transparent enough to tell them what's really going on. I really ain't got no money. I really don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so nobody can help what you faking.
Yep. And that's the majority, honestly, of women out here. They are faking, and I don't mean that in a judgmental, disrespectful type of way, but everyone seems to have this fake it till you make it mentality, not realizing that once you sell your soul and decide that you're going to be fake, it never ends. It doesn't matter if you get money or if you become successful, you always have to be fake, because the fake you is who the people fell in love with. Now they don't care who you really are.
No, they don't. They're like, what happened? What is this? Right. And one thing that I heard a quote that says, when you start lying, you got to keep lying. So when you are achieving success, then you can't even celebrate the success because you've been lying so long. And you got to keep going with the numbers. You got to keep going. It got to be 1 million. You know what I'm saying? It got to be 2. It got to be 10. So when you did make that 1 million, now you can't even celebrate it because you've been lying about it for 5 years.
Ever.
Jesus, have mercy. Like, Lord, just lean into yourself, because it is easier for you to remember the truth.
Absolutely. 100%. I'm with you on that. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. So here we are.
So listen, this was not your first business venture. You've been in the game a minute. So talk to us about this childcare kingdom you have built.
Ooh, honey, listen, I've been doing childcare. Well, first and foremost, I had my daughter at 14.
Oh, okay.
So how I got started into the childcare industry was because her father's side of the family, that's what they did.
Oh,
so it was one of them things like, well, you done had this baby, so sis, you got to work. Having her so early, and then my mama didn't have money. We didn't grow up with money. So it was one of those things where I had to go to work. And so from there, I learned it fast. I was 14, you know, getting her up, getting her dressed. My mama take her to the daycare. I'm going to school, but when I get out of school, I got to get on the MARTA bus to go to the daycare because I got to work. So after I graduated high school, I didn't want to be nowhere near kids. I wanted to get as far away from kids as possible. So I started into the corporate America world.
Okay.
And from there, you know, it was cool and I learned a lot of skills, but I was like, I ain't even made no money doing this. Like, I'm never going to be able to give my daughter the life that I didn't have and that I want her to have, working for somebody else. And at 23, I was 23 when I started my first daycare. I stepped out on faith, and honestly, literally, from the time I made the decision that this is really what I'm going to do, it didn't stop. And it grew. And it's crazy.
I love this. So you started your first daycare. What was some of the mistakes that you made along the way, child?
Spending all the money that was coming in. You got to think, daycare money now, people don't realize, for the new people that are getting into the daycare industry, the money that y'all making now is nothing compared to what we used to see back in the day. And we get great money now. But back in the day, we were getting it in. So
what's the difference?
It's, you know what it is? It's the game has changed in terms of what we actually have to do now. So right now, back then it was really based on, are the children happy? We can come in and we can see what you guys have going on. And as long as it looks good, it is good. Now it's a paperwork thing. Now you have to show and compensate for absolutely everything that you do. You got to think, rents are higher now. Food is higher now. Quality. You know, people, when you think about it, back in the day, it was so easy to get into the game that you could open up a rinky-dink center that was so ugly and toe up, and people would still look. Long as you picked them up and dropped them off, that's all they cared about. They couldn't care less about anything. But as more quality centers get into the game, now you got competition. So you are so pretty. Anyway, sorry. So now you got competition. So we have to work harder now. And when they come in, it's not just surface, it's depth. So in order to match what they're looking for, you got to spend the money. So whereas back then, a lot of our money that we were making, we were able to keep. Now they make sure you spend it.
You got to get security systems and all kind of stuff.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh. And you know, it's so crazy because I think a lot of people don't even think about it. They don't think about like, oh, well, this was like this then and now it's like this. But dang, now they got it easier then than they have it now.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely, like now it's literally, it's just a lot harder. So I spent so much money. Like I went from making, and we talking about 15, 16 years ago, I think I might have been bringing home $2,200 a month, $1,100 every 2 weeks working at the school system. So within 90 days of my center opening, I'm bringing in, instead of $2,200, I'm at $6,000 to $8,000 a month.
Oh, it's up.
23.
Yes.
And this is after I'm paying my staff, my rent, you know, all of the above. So back then it was on. I'm outside All-Star, Super Bowl.
Yes. Oh, and you was in Atlanta.
And it was, Atlanta was, look, back then we had it a lot easier in Atlanta too. Now, child, I don't know what this is. But no, I spent majority of the money I was making. And so that was, I would say, single-handedly the biggest mistake that I made was just not being used to nothing. And honey, it was on. I had stuff to do and I was doing it.
So how did you come out of that? Because I talk to a lot of CEOs and I think that's the first step, right? Like it's always like, okay, I'm getting the money. Now I need to spend the money. And sometimes you're not even spending it on the luxury stuff. You just like, oh, well, I can't afford to pay somebody $60,000 to do this, or I can do this, or I can do that. And you realize, you look up at the end of the year, like, who stole my money? Like, where is my money? Like, this is a thing. Like, so how did you come out of that, Sherri? Save us.
You know what? Honestly, how I came out of it was, I knew that I could make more money if I spent more money. So, you know, like investing and doing other stuff. But I'm not a risk taker. I'm not a gambler. If I go to Vegas, I'm going to sit at that Wheel of Fortune or that 21 table. If $100 I'm done. Listen, if $100 I lose, it's a wrap. So that's it. So I say that to say, I had found something that worked for me. So I'm like, dang, all this money that I'm spending doing absolutely nothing. Let me open up another center. And so what happened was I couldn't afford, because I mean, at the end of the day, we still only talking about $6,000 to $8,000 a month. It's a lot, but in the grand scope of things, it's not a lot. So I'm like, well, damn, I can't afford to ball out and grow. So now I got to choose. Do I want to grow or do I? And I'm like, well, if I grow some more, that means I can ball some more. So I'm going to grow. So how I came out of that was, I wanted more. Like, it's kind of like once you get that first hit, you like,
I gotta get
I'm at, and I was at 6,000 to 8,000 profit. My center was full, meaning what I was making, that's what I was making. I wasn't gonna make anymore. There was no room to grow. I was licensed for 33 children. I had 33 children. So basically the lifestyle that I had then created and got accustomed to, that was it. Wasn't no more money coming in. I was at the max.
The capacity.
Yeah, I was at the max. So now I'm like, dang, okay. I got to grow. I got to figure out. And that's what made me say, okay, let me scale back, readjust, realign, and then take off again.
You know, I love this story. I love it. And I love that also you started to diversify your income. And I think it's so important. I know you be giving your daughter all the gems. Okay, so she got the cheat code. Yeah, you know, I'm okay with it because she a Taurus. So,
and y'all are rebellious. And so she's rebelled.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
It's the clearly.
Yeah.
I love it though. So what did you started to do? You have 3 centers now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what did you start to do to start diversifying your income? Because I heard you have a couple of properties.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I have. Honestly, I'm probably worth more in real estate that's paid off, no mortgages, than I am in childcare, just because I started getting money so early, I got over spending it really, really fast.
Yeah.
So at 26 now, I don't need the things that the normal person would need. So I began to diversify just by outside of real estate. I was like, I honestly, and I say this as humble as possible because y'all know I'm the most humble, sweet person.
Yes.
I want to say I probably was the first person in childcare to start doing classes and launches and doing like whole commercials and videos and things like that. So how I started to diversify was I took childcare from being a word of mouth thing into being like a not necessarily like a social thing. Like, dang, this how childcare is doing. And then people wanted to buy into me because I had the lifestyle to match it up. I had the smarts. Clearly, I had the knowledge. Only thing I needed people to do was believe in me. So I diversified by doing classes, by doing mentorship, by doing coaching. And then from there, I was, bringing in the money with the centers. I'm bringing in the money with the passive income. And now I can, dab into like real estate and things like that. So that's really how it happened.
So how did you start to develop your real estate portfolio?
Well, honestly, I bought my first center before I even bought my house. So for the longest, like I wanted to buy a house. I really, really did. But my thing was, if I don't own my building and my landlord, for whatever reason, decides they want me gone, how am I going to pay for the house that I bought? So I said, well, I need to solidify my career. Like, this is what brings me money. That house ain't bringing me in no money. I mean, gradually, I might get a little equity or maybe not. But for the most part, like, my business is my business, but it's really not my business because I don't own the building.
Right. I'm renting.
Yeah. So I began to get into real estate. I wanted to own my building. Yes. I wanted for nobody to ever be able to say, damn, she making this much money or she doing this much. Me and my kids could come in here and start a daycare. We're going to go and give her 30-day notice. So when her lease expires, we're not going to renew it.
Yeah.
And that was how I did it. I said, okay, I'm going to buy my building.
Girl, salvation has its privileges, and so does this shirt. Listen, I want you guys to tap into my friends over there at Word Imp, where they are showing you where you could be able to love God out loud, where you can wear it on your t-shirts, your mugs, your drinkware, anything that you have, so that you could be able to show your love for God out loud. Word Imp is a specialty site where it allows you to have these phrases like salvation has its privileges. It also has some t-shirts like my hair shrink, I don't, right? I want you guys to go over there and head to their website because they are doing something special for us at the Ghetto CEO Podcast and all of our listeners. For only a limited time, they're giving us 15% off. Yes, y'all, 15% off of any order over $40. And all you have to do is use the code Ghetto CEO. Now back to the episode. I love that. And and it's so funny because I always tell childcare owners, y'all be having access to capital like it's always money coming in. The cash flow is crazy. I was like, I need to open me a school or two.
The childcare business, we know when it's coming in. We know exactly how much. We know how fast we can get it. Yeah. And that's why when a lot of people get in the childcare game, even when they lose the passion for it, they don't get out because they're addicted to it. You'll never find anything else that can really give you the lifestyle, the money, the everything you want if you just follow the blueprint.
Listen, I hear you because I'm gonna put some money away so I can invest in some of these centers. Now, I don't want to touch the centers. I don't want to see nobody kids. I don't wipe no stats, but I will invest, okay? Because that, like, I really could see it, and I could see how if somebody was out there like, I don't really know where I should go. Like, do you think that they should look into starting a childcare center?
No. And I'll be honest, because it's not one of those things that you just try out. It's one of those things where if you know that you have real hustle, childcare, I will tell anybody this, childcare is 20% skill, 80% hustle. Yeah. As long as you have the hustle, then I would say go for it. But if you don't even know enough about yourself to know that I am truly a bona fide hustler, and I can go out there and find me 10 kids if I need to.
Yeah.
No, don't risk yourself with childcare because you're going to go in there thinking it's about the knowledge and thinking it's about the children when it's really not. You have to use that part of your skill once you get them in, but you got to get them in first.
First and foremost, we got to get the kids in.
You got to get them in.
And you know, it's so funny that you say that because I always tell people, I don't care what industry you're in, marketing comes first. Like, if you don't market to enough people can't see you, then enough people cannot pay you, period. So it don't matter how your spa looks or your child care center looks or if you got the best curriculum. If you don't have enough kids, butts in seats, then it's not going to matter.
It doesn't matter at all. Nope, it's pointless.
You know, and I love that you said that and leaned into that for your business. So you have 3 centers. Are you going to open another one?
Well, I'm trying to convince my daughter to do one only because she is in the spa industry and that's a service-based business, but it is a service-based business that is based on if people decide they want it or not. It's not a need. So I explained to her, even though she's doing great and financially the money is there, at this point she's 24. So this was the age when I was, first opening centers and stuff. So I try to tell her like, hey, this is the age I opened my first center. So if I do another one, it will be because I want her to have, the same consistent, guaranteed income and not have to be based on like if a season is up or down.
Right. Yeah. I love that. You and your daughter have a really good relationship.
That's my baby.
Oh, so how do you feel like you coming up as an entrepreneur, but also being a young mom? How did that help or hurt your relationship, or do you think it made it better?
It was the best thing that ever happened, honestly, because my daughter opened her first spa at 18.
Wow.
Like, my daughter has been a licensed esthetician since she was 19 years old, graduated from Elaine Sterling. So my point is, if I'm 23, that means she's like 8. You got to think, when I'm up at 5:30 getting ready to go open, she's there. She literally built that business with me. So her work ethic at 24, she just turned 24 years old, is impeccable. She's a morning person because guess what? She's been getting up at 5:30 going to work since she was 7 or 8 years old. So back then I felt bad about it. But honestly, if we had more of that today, our 20 and 21 and 22 and 23-year-olds would be in much better positions. My daughter bought her house before I did. My daughter was a homeowner at 18 years old. So it helped in so many ways because it showed her the value of $1. It showed her the value of work. It showed her the value of living a life of reality versus being like raised online or social and things like that. So it really helped our relationship. Back then I couldn't see it because I was just like, look, I ain't got but one car. I ain't got nobody that can pick you up. Get dressed. Come on, we're going to go to the daycare. We're going to open up and take you to school. Oh, girl, I had this Elmo van and she was in middle school. And baby, she used to make me drop her off down that hill. Do you hear me? Oh, no.
Oh, she wasn't playing with you.
No, she wasn't playing. So, but it helped. And then in terms of our personal relationship, I still had the time to be a mother too, so it was like, it allowed us to be able to do things at the ages we were at that had I stayed at the school system or stayed in corporate America, we would have never gotten those experiences. So,
And so how would you suggest someone else that's in your position to support their child on these entrepreneur endeavors? Because I could say, now, you might see this in the school system, but I'm going to say it because y'all can't say it because y'all parents. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't got no talent. You know what I'm saying? They got some talent, but some of the things they be trying to do, they be like, oh, my baby can type on that iPad real good. I'm like, girl, that is not, they ain't supposed to at this age.
Right.
They're 12, okay? But, like, how did you know, like, this was her thing and I see it in her and I'm here to support her through it?
Honestly, I didn't. I kind of was just like, what you gonna do? Because she had in her mind, she didn't really want to go to school. And because I was so successful, and I have an associate's degree in communication and business management, nothing major, but I didn't want to make her go to school because I knew I was successful and I didn't go to school. But I was like, so what you gonna do? And
need a plan.
You ain't just gonna sit here and do nothing. And she don't like daycare. She didn't want to work for me. She wanted to get as far away from kids. So I asked her, and I just was kind of like, well, until you figure it out, we're going to open you up some. Figure it out. And so one day she would think, I think I want to do this. The next day would be, I think I want to do this. And then it started off with body contouring. And so from there, she was like, I like that. And then once I saw that she was serious and that she was mentally able and ready to, you know, like seriously be there and take it serious and put in the work ethic, that's when I knew that she had a talent for it and she could excel.
Know, what I also love about y'all's story is that the cheat code really is you believing in yourself. Because if you didn't, there was no way that you was going to be able to instill that into your daughter. No way you was even going to be able to give her the leverage to start her business. And a lot of times I hear parents, I mean, I'm 29, what I know, but I'm saying I hear parents that's like, I want to do more for my kids. I want to give them more. I want to do more. And I'm like, if you would do more, then they could see and you could be able to give them more leverage.
Absolutely. And that's really what it boiled down to. And the great thing about it is financially, I was in a position to lose for her. So it's like, if it didn't work out or if it wasn't the thing for her to do, I would take the loss. But I knew that I'm a swimmer. So she could either do one thing, sink or swim, but I'm a mama. So I know she gonna swim. Absolutely. You gonna swim.
If I gotta carry you on my back,
we outside. We gonna get it done. We are in the ocean. And so it was like, it was no biggie for me because I was able to take the loss for her in the beginning, which was great because once anything happened that didn't go right, my thing was, once you in it, you in it. The rest is on you. And so even though she didn't have to struggle to come up like with capital to inject and things like that, once she got in the door, the rest was on her. And she had to figure it out. And so she learned that way. So
come on. Well, listen, while we talking about figuring out, okay, we got a segment on the show called Figure It the Fuck Out.
Oh,
okay?
shit.
Listen.
Shit.
Listen, as CEOs, we are always figuring it out every day.
Every day.
It's always something. So I'm going to pick a scenario, and then you're going to tell us. Let me get deep in here, child.
Jesus Christ. The ghetto gonna really, y'all think this ghetto CEO. I hope I don't give no ghetto ass.
Let's see what you get, okay? Because you're going to tell us how you will figure this out.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Oh, we didn't even talk about this, but this is good. This is going to lead us into a segue. You and your significant other are working together, and you don't feel like they're pulling as much weight as you. You want to have a conversation, but you don't want to ruin the relationship. What's next?
The relationship is ruined. Because I'm going to have the conversation. But if I had to figure it out, I would find ways around our place of business to drop subtle but strong hints. So if I know that this person didn't mop the floors, I'm going to make sure every day you come to this building, the floor going to be sticky, nasty, and it's going to be that way until you do it. And so I would just find ways to like do it, tell them in a way that he has to do it. So it's not like I'm saying, I need you to do it. I'm just going to put it right there. I'm going to drop the trash on the floor so that you have to take it out. So I would just find ways to make them do it without them knowing that. So.
Sherri J said, you gonna pick up this trash.
Oh yeah, you gonna do it.
You gonna do it. Okay. No, I love it. That's how you figure it out, y'all. That is how you figure it the fuck out. Now, in that segue, it talked about a significant other, but we don't see that on the Instagram street. So is Sherri J outside? Is she having fun?
Sherri J is having fun right now.
I love
I've been in a relationship the last 7 years.
Okay.
And it's just at a point right now where it's either going to go to the next level or it's going to totally dissipate. But I don't feel like being in the relationship while we figure that part out is smart. You know, I'm a hell of a woman.
Yeah, period.
And
the Sherri J.
I'm definitely the Sherri J. So it's one of them things like, hey, if you don't want Sherri J, you got to go on your way.
Okay, come on.
Y'all know I got bars too. Don't get it twisted.
Listen.
So that's the scope. But when things were great, and I was showing from time to time, but it's like I'm real funny in that significant other area. So y'all will never know when I'm back in the relationship, more so because when you get women who are as successful as I am, everybody wants to credit the success of you to your man. It can't be because you did it. It can't be because you worked your way and it has to be because, he did it. That's the me. We know they can't bring in that much money. Y'all got to think I got old money. I've been doing this for 15 years. And I'm not I don't got to be in the latest Chanel bag. I like me a whip. But that's really as far as it goes. So even in that segment, I've always been a little more private just because I want full credit for my success.
I love that.
I worked hard for that.
I love that.
Before he came.
Yeah, listen, Sherri J, you heard what I said. Okay, let them know. Let them know. But listen, Sherri, this was amazing. But before we go, you know this is a Ghetto CEO podcast. So when you think about being a CEO, is ghetto. And the things that you've had to learn, the things you have to overcome, what is the most ghettoest thing that you've ever had to deal with as a CEO?
Oh, look. I done almost been in fights. I done had to stop fights. Yes. So I would say the most ghetto thing that I've had to learn is how to diffuse situations, like being that I cater to low to moderate income areas.
Right.
I service low to moderate income clients.
Right.
And in dealing with them, you got to be able to, you get what I'm saying? You got to be able to hold, and they will try you. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Okay.
Just because I'm more seasoned and I know how, they don't play with me, I don't play with them.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you got to think I was young too. I was a little girl. So I'm 23, 24. Y'all 30 something. They like, this a little girl. I ain't coming to get my child till 6:30. Man, we close at 5:15. Like, I'm scared, you know. But it was, I had to learn to step my game up. So the most ghetto thing that I had to learn was, it doesn't matter who you are, you got to get on the same level as the person that you're interacting with, so that you can diffuse the situation and stick to your boundaries and your, your rules.
You know, I love that, because you said that in a reference of your business, but that's through life anyway.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, sometimes you might have to roll a neck and let them know what's up. You know what I'm saying? And let them know they're not playing with you.
Yeah, you got to, because a lot of times, because it is a business setting and it's childcare, it's already a real fine line, and it's very touchy. So
with your child. Yeah.
So it's like, you have to figure out a way to let them know, listen, I'm here for you, but I'll get with you.
Period. Listen, and that's it. That's that on that. I'm here for you, but I will get with you. And that is the Sherri J, y'all. Listen.
The Ghetto CEO.
Okay. Listen, this was a good conversation, Sherri. Did you enjoy yourself?
I enjoyed it. This was awesome.
Yes, I did too, y'all. Listen, if y'all love this episode, make sure you leave a review, comment, let us know. Like, not just on YouTube, y'all. Go over there to Apple Podcasts. You got an iPhone. Go over there to Spotify. Go over there to whatever you listen to podcasts on, and leave a review. Leave 5 stars. Download it. All the things. Because if you want us to keep giving you these CEOs like Sherri J, then you gotta show us some love. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Ghetto CEO Podcast, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Invoice in, that ain't ghetto. Money spin.